paid off my girlfriend's student loans, but then she demanded I cover her sister's debt too, or she'd break up with me. So I reversed the payment, and her reaction was priceless. Hello Reddit I plus here. Alright, so I was dating this woman, Samantha, for about 2 years. She was smart, funny, worked as a teacher, and we met through mutual friends at a trivia night. We hit it off over beers, shared love for true crime podcasts, and a mutual hatred of olives. Classic millennial romance. Now I'm a software engineer. I've been fortunate. My job pays well, I live simply, I don't have kids, and I drive a Honda Civic that's older than some of my coworkers. My only real vice is overpriced coffee and the occasional Lego set I swear I'm buying for my nephews. So anyway, Samantha and I were serious. Like talking marriage serious. She'd drop hints about rings. I'd nod awkwardly, but also kinda liked the idea. I could see a future. We weren't living together yet, but we had toothbrushes at each other's places, you know? One night, she's venting about her student loans again. She's about $18,000 in debt. She's stressed about the interest. Says it keeps her up at night. She's clearly overwhelmed, and honestly, I love this woman. She's been good to me, supportive, and I knew if we got married one day, that debt would become our debt anyway. So, I made a decision. A week later, I paid off her loans in full, quietly. I logged in using her info. She had once asked me to help her check her loan statements, so I had access, and made the payment. Then I printed the confirmation, rolled it up like a diploma, and stuck it inside a gift box with a bow. When she opened it, she just froze. Then she started crying, hugging me, saying no one had ever done something so kind. She said I was the man she wanted to grow old with. It was an amazing moment. I felt like I'd done the right thing for about 48 hours, because that's when things got weird. We were out at brunch with her family that weekend. Her mom, dad, and her younger sister, Chloe, 24F. Chloe's in nursing school, working part-time, and apparently has about $25,000 in student debt. And in the middle of sipping mimosas, Samantha goes, "Babe, maybe you could help Chloe out too. I mean, if you really want to be part of this family." I choked on my eggs Benedict. I laughed at first, thinking she was joking. But her face, stone cold serious, and Chloe, who had been scrolling on her phone, suddenly perked up and went, "Wait, really? That would be amazing." I tried to keep it classy and said something like, that's not really something I'm planning for right now." And Samantha just said, "Why not? You clearly can afford it. And if you love me, you should care about my family's burdens too." Cue Chloe nodding and saying, "It's not like we're strangers. I'm practically your sister-in-law." At that point, I excused myself to the bathroom to cool off. I stayed in there for 10 minutes, just trying to figure out if I'd entered the twilight zone. Later that night, I brought it up to Samantha, and I was gentle, genuinely trying to understand. I said, "Hey, I love helping you, but your sister's debt isn't my responsibility. I don't feel comfortable being expected to pay that." And she flipped. She said I was being selfish. That family means lifting each other up. That if I was willing to help her, helping Chloe should be the natural next step. I reminded her that I already did help, paid her entire debt, and that it was a gift, not a starter pack. She said, and I quote, "If you won't help my sister, I'll need to reevaluate this relationship. I can't be with someone who's only generous when it benefits them." I was stunned. Like, jaw on the floor, stunned, and something in me snapped. So, the next morning, I logged back into her loan account. Thankfully, the payment hadn't fully processed yet. It was still pending. I called the loan servicer, explained that I was the account holder's fiancé, and that I made the payment by mistake. After some identity confirmation, and a lot of polite groveling, they agreed to reverse the payment before it finalized. I got every penny back. That night, I told Samantha. She lost it. Screaming, crying, saying I was punishing her for asking for help. She accused me of being manipulative, and said she couldn't believe I'd dangle her future over her head like that. And I just sat there, calm, quiet, and I said, "You told me that if I didn't pay for your sister, you'd reevaluate this relationship, so I'm saving you the trouble." I left. She tried calling the next day, texted me about 30 times, said she didn't mean it, said she was just trying to test my commitment to her. Even threw in a "we were meant to be soulmates." But honestly, that moment of entitlement, expecting me to drop thousands more dollars or else, was a deal breaker. I didn't owe her sister anything. Hell, I didn't even owe her anything, but I gave it because I loved her. And the fact that love got twisted into a financial requirement made me realize I dodged a bullet. And the cherry on top? Chloe posted a TikTok the next week about broke men being intimidated by educated women, and I just knew it was about me. So yeah, sometimes your most expensive lessons are the ones that never fully go through. And for anyone out there thinking about financially rescuing their partner, make sure they see you as a person, not a wallet. So after that TikTok went up, a few friends sent it to me with laughing emojis. One even commented, "Bro, this the girl who asked you to pay her sister's debt, right?" I didn't respond. I just shook my head. But the plot? Oh, it thickened. Because about a week later, I get a message from Chloe. She starts off with, "Hey, I just want to say I didn't mean to come off entitled. I was just caught off guard and thought maybe it was a nice gesture, you know?" Then she adds, "Also, you were really good to my sister. She didn't deserve that." And I thought, okay, weird, but maybe she's feeling guilty. Then, it gets weirder. Chloe starts flirting. She sends me a voice note, talking about how real men are rare and if Samantha can't appreciate what you did for her, maybe she's not the one. I was halfway between laughing and gagging. This girl seriously watched me get guilted over her debt, then tried to slide in after her sister crashed and burned. I didn't respond, just left her on red. Fast forward a couple weeks. I'm still single, still enjoying the peace of not being emotionally blackmailed into co-signing someone's life. And I'm getting dinner with a mutual friend, Jess. Jess is the type of friend who always knows what's going on in everyone's life. She's sipping wine and casually goes, "So, you know Samantha is telling everyone you manipulated her into breaking up, right?" I raised an eyebrow. "She's saying you promised to take care of her and her family, got her hopes up, and then pulled the rug out when she didn't agree to your controlling behavior. She's painting you as this emotionally abusive guy who weaponized money." And I just laughed. Not because it was funny, but because it was so delusional. Luckily, most of our friends knew me well enough to know it wasn't true. One guy actually said, if I were him, I would have Venmo requested her afterward for wasting my time. But the real kicker, a few months after that, maybe 3, Samantha messages me. She says she's doing a lot of reflecting, and that therapy has helped her see how much she sabotaged something good. She apologizes for how things ended, says she knows now that asking for that money was out of line, but she felt pressured by her family to provide more, and thought I'd understand. She ends with, "If there's any chance to meet for coffee and talk, I'd really love that, even if it's just closure." Now, I'll admit, part of me wanted to meet her, not to get back together, but to see what she'd say face to face. But the smarter part of me said, nah, I already got all the closure I needed when the loan reversal cleared into my bank account. So I replied with a polite, "I appreciate the message. I hope you continue growing and healing, but I've moved on. Take care." She never responded. That was the last time we ever spoke. But the lesson? That one stuck. Love is not a transaction. Generosity is not a currency to buy loyalty. And the second someone starts putting conditions on your kindness, that's not a relationship, that's a negotiation. And in this case, I declined the terms.